Hello friends, a very good morning once again. After having talked about purpose, choice, happiness, today we are on the fourth session. A very warm welcome to all of you. Now, we are still stuck onto the happiness part. Of course, we want to stuck onto it all our life, right? Now, besides money, career, all the other means of entertainment and happiness, what is the most integral part of our life is human interaction. Most of our happiness, I'm sure it is overlooked at an extent, to an extent rather, most of our happiness dwells around people. Of course, it comes from within us, but it dwells around people. For instance, today, if I had a fight with someone, an argument with someone, am I going to be happy? When I say that, of course, I project on the fact that yes, my happiness is somewhere dependent on the person, due to which I got into a quarrel or an argument, as a result of which I and he or she gained happiness and sadness or whatever. At the beginning of the quarrel, I might feel a little happy, I proved my point. But is that the true happiness? It is not, because after a while I automatically start feeling sad, and I realized that yes, probably there was a drift, probably there was an argument which resulted in a little bit of a happiness, but then ultimately it resulted in a disappointment. Oh my god, why did I do this? Maybe I'm still not sure, or maybe I'm still not saying that it is her or his fault. I'm just saying that it is not my fault. I'm still on that. Now, the second point here is, it happens in life that I get into some kind of a quarrel or an argument. After that, what is my approach? Do I want to stay as is, continue with the quarrel kind of a thing or an argument, or do I want a solution out of it? My approach is to stick to a problem, or I want a solution. If my approach is to stick to a problem and be as it is about it, it's okay, no problem. I can continue with that. Will that result in some kind of a satisfaction, a long lasting happiness? I don't think so. If my approach is solution oriented, what can I do? There are two things that can be done. That's what I feel. Number one, I need to analyze. I need to see what exactly happened, what phase I was in when the argument happened. Probably I can try to judge what phase he or she was in when the argument happened. Then do a thorough analysis of my thoughts currently about that person. Does that person feel the same about me what he or she was feeling few minutes or few hours back? I don't think so. Because the problem is not in the person. The problem happened due to a situation. Whom do I fight with? I usually fight with someone whom I have built a strong relationship with. Stronger the relation, stronger will be the fight. To a stranger, I won't fight so much. Sometimes it happens and I'll just forget it. But wherever the relations are built stronger, the chances of breakage is more. So the simple fact here is, if I'm looking for a solution, I need to understand that there has to be at least 1% of misunderstanding from my side as well. It's not always the fact that he or she is 100% at fault. Maybe a very minor 1% of fault from my side may be there. And it is usually there if I honestly analyze with myself. If I take that 1% approach towards that person, that hey, this happened, but a little bit, I still don't think that I am completely at fault. You may still be at fault, but then some 1% of rift happens from my side as well. Due to that, I just want to take this approach and ask you to forgive me for that 1%. Now, if I initiate this conversation at a different phase after a few hours or after a day or so, the quarrel or the argument which happened must have already subsidized to a greater extent, and the other person must also be waiting to approach me, but due to some kind of a frame of mind or ego, that has not been happened. What do I do about it? If I approach, then the approach will come automatically, and the other person will say, hey, come on, it's okay, it happened, and I have forgotten about it, you also forget about it, and let's continue with the strong bond. Relationships are an important asset of life. Since we all are kind of not so complete in the world, I am sure that we have a lot of dependencies on our relationships, on our assets for our happiness. Having said that, happiness definitely dwells within, comes from within, but the factors which are kind of occurring at the time of our phases in life are equally important as well. Just wanted to conclude on a simple note that in relationship, if I am ready to give 1% after a quarrel or an argument, I am sure that the 99% will automatically come from the other end. Why not build a happy and a healthy environment all around? Thank you so much for listening. Over to you in the next session. Thanks.